Hello everyone, how you doing? It's STAR Gamer again. And again I'm going to say, like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm going to get in the Drake Cutlass Black today. I'm going to be taking a look at it, patch 3.10. We've taken a look at the Cutlass a couple of times. The Cutlass Blue, the Cutlass Red, the Cutlass Black. I figured this time we would take the Black for a spin, just because it is the base model. And with the incoming rock, it's going to be a little bit more handy because you can actually fit the rock within the Cutlass and go mining. So we'll go play around with this for a little bit. And again, this is the stock configuration, so this is not using anything different. And if we look down here, we can see it's still the same layout. You know, the Buccaneer got a rework, the Cat got a little bit of a quality of life, but everything inside here for the Cutlass is the same as it always has been. So the only thing that'll change will be how it's handling in flight. So we're going to go ahead and take off Everest Harbor. We'll do our space test, and then we'll head down to atmosphere and see how she does.
Landing gear up. Your chaff is online.
I don't want chaff online, I want... darned it. Why do they have to switch VTOL to K? I got used to J, I don't know about you guys. Alright, so here we are. It's kind of dark today, so I'll go ahead and turn on the lights, which I think are still... no, they're L now. There we go. Here are the lights on. We'll do our spin around a point test. Yeah, Cutlass... still relatively maneuverable. Definitely not, you know, it's billed as a fighter, but it's not really a fighter. It's more maneuverable than a freelancer for sure. You can kind of see the slow rate as we're coming around here. We're just using strafe down, keeping pitch on target. And it's just because of the slower strafe speed, we're actually able to stay on target pretty well. So, you know, it works. The roll rate is kind of slow. It's not horrible, but it is kind of slow. Get ourselves fully here, we'll check the pitch. Pitch is pretty good. Bring it around to the station for yaw. We'll aim for a little bit below so we don't run into it by accident. Yaw's pretty slow. But overall, you know, she's still as maneuverable as she was, in my opinion, back in 3.9. Not really a whole lot of change at SCM speed for how she controls. Thrusters are a little slower than they used to be as far as hitting full, but once they all catch on, you know, you're still pretty fast. Alright, let's check the top speed. So it's a pretty decent top speed, 1113, significantly faster than the Freelancer. And we'll do a flip and burn. Very slow in the decelerating, even with a flip and burn. And overall, in space, pretty good performance. Now let's head over to the bright side of the planet, and we'll try some atmospheric flight. Now let's see who's on the far side. I believe Sherman should be on the bright side. I do like the look of the Cutlass. It's definitely a neat looking little ship. Excuse me, not little, it's medium. Now between the Cutlass and the Freelancer, Freelancer has 4 gimbaled guns, but is less maneuverable. Cutlass has 4 gimbaled size 2s instead of size 3s, so it's a little bit downgunned, but you can go with 4 size 3, but they're fixed. And with the better maneuverability of the Cutlass, you really can get your, the 4 size 3 fixed on target pretty damn well. But its main draw side is it's only 1 size 2 shield. Hey Pedro. So with the 1 size shield, survivability is a little lacking on the Cutlass. They have increased the armor on the blue. Blue has a good bit more armor now. So when you're looking at the Cutlass blue versus the black or the red, the blue should stand up a little bit better. But they're still all relatively durable for what they are. Again, Drake's whole scheme is you got ships with, a little less armor, a little more cheap to build, easier to maintain. But overall, they're good ships. And, the price range for the Cutlass Black is pretty low as well. So here we are at about 3,000. Let's level her off and check her top speed and atmo. So yeah, it looks to be about 260 is your top speed. Ah, private property. Gosh darn it. Turning around! I don't want a crime stat. So we'll check the top speed as we run away. Like the brave Sir Robin. So good speed on changing of direction there. Check the roll rate. We'll slow down to SCM speed, so we get the full maneuverability out of her. Roll and atmo. Again, like most Drake ships, your roll and atmo is the same as in space. Let's see, now this is going to be interesting. Remember when we're looking at other ships like the Anvil and the Aegis, yaw, I won't say non-existent, but it's pretty limited. So let's see if with the Cutlass we also can just yaw all the way around like we could in the Buccaneer. Yep. So that's a major point in favor of Drake's ships in general for how they're performing in and out of atmosphere. The ability to yaw and change direction is pretty darn good. Just want to make sure I'm not going to come up to somewhere that's going to... Alright, we should be good. Now we're going to come a little lower and we'll play around some low altitude. Pitch is going to be the same in atmo as out of. So again, this is 4 gimbaled size 2s with the stock loadout. So again, maintaining SCM speed, she's very maneuverable, and you'll have no problem using it. And you can just use yaw to slew around instead of having to roll as well. So that's a good bonus. It's always fun to play down low. Whoops! We lost our wingtip. Giving it all she's got, Captain. Let's see how the visual damage. So it's red. And she's still there. And doesn't look like there's any real change, but took a little bit of damage. So again, that's one downside as you look at the Cutlass. You got these two, I don't know what you call it. I mean, they're part of the landing gear, and they're kind of armor, but they stick out in a way that you can't really see them. So you kind of have to be aware that off to your side here are these things sticking out. And that's what happened there, is I was cutting it too close to the ground and clipped it. So again, I would say overall what we're looking at here is in 3.10, the Cutlass is very strong. It handles very similar. You got a little bit of drift if you release the controls down, which makes sense. But she's handling very well in atmosphere, very well in space, and Drake, again, because of the fixed thrusters and the way they design their ships, are handling very well. I think for a change of pace, the next review I'll jump into something Anvil or Aegis again and kind of compare. And it is interesting that the same class ships we have such a disparity in maneuverability in atmosphere. I don't know if it's because they haven't modeled the fixed thrusters in Atmo versus out, but the fact that you can just yaw and kind of throw your ship around in or out of atmosphere is a huge advantage to Drake over the other ships when it comes to combat. Even just trading, maneuverability, and mining. And of course in this one we have VTOL mode, which the Miss Freelancer still doesn't have, even though it's supposed to. So that's another bonus on this aspect. Alright, I'm going to head back to Everest Harbor, park this thing, and jump in another review in a couple of minutes. Hope you all enjoyed the view.